The Mikoyan-Gurevich MiG-21, known by its NATO reporting name Fishbed, is the most widely produced supersonic fighter aircraft in aviation history, developed by the Soviet Union. At the height of the Cold War, the MiG-21 was designed to defend vast national airspace against fast, high-altitude intruders in an era defined by nuclear confrontation. Created to intercept Western bombers and reconnaissance aircraft, the MiG-21 embodied a Soviet doctrine that prioritized speed, climb rate, simplicity, and mass production over complexity. Its role was clear: scramble quickly, climb aggressively, engage, and disengage. The MiG-21 matters in modern air warfare not because of stealth or advanced sensors, but because it demonstrated how a relatively simple, affordable fighter could alter global air power balances. Its influence reshaped air forces across dozens of nations and defined fighter design philosophy for generations. 2. Origin and development history. The MiG-21 originated in the Soviet Union and was developed by the Mikoyan-Gurevich Design Bureau. MiG development began in the early 1950s, with the first prototype, the Y-2, flying in 1955. The definitive MiG-21 design first flew on the 16th of June 1958, and the aircraft entered service in 1959. The MiG-21 was developed to replace earlier subsonic and early supersonic Soviet fighters, such as the MiG-15, MiG-17, and MiG-19, which were becoming obsolete against faster Western aircraft. It competed directly with Western fighters including the F-100 Super Sabre, F-100 for Starfighter, Mirage 3, and later the F for Phantom II, though it followed a markedly different design philosophy. 3. Design philosophy and airframe. The MiG-21 was designed around simplicity, speed, and mass production. Its airframe is compact and lightweight, built primarily from aluminum alloys, with steel used in high-temperature areas such as the engine section. No composite materials or stealth treatments were used. Aerodynamically, the MiG-21 is defined by its delta wing configuration, which provides excellent high-speed stability and climb performance, but limits low-speed handling and sustained turning ability. The aircraft uses a nose-mounted air intake with a movable shock cone, allowing efficient airflow at supersonic speeds. Visually, the MiG-21 is instantly recognizable by its pointed nose intake, slender fuselage, and sharply swept delta wings, features that reflect its role as a pure interceptor rather than a multi-role platform. 4. Engine and propulsion system. The MiG-21 was powered by a series of Tumansky turbojet engines, depending on variant. Key engines include Tumansky R11F300 early variants, Tumansky R13300, Tumansky R25300. Late variants such as MiG-21 bis, typical thrust figures, dry thrust, approximately 8,800 to 9,000 lbf. 39 to 40 kilonewtons afterburner thrust, up to 15,650 lbf, 69.6 kilonewtons for the R25300. The MiG-21 bis achieved a thrust-to-weight ratio close to or exceeding 1:1 in certain conditions, enabling exceptional acceleration and climb rates. However, turbojet efficiency was poor, resulting in high fuel consumption. 5. Speed and flight performance. Performance varied by variant, but representative figures for later models, such as the MiG-21 bis, are as follows. Maximum speed: Mach 2.05, approximately 2,175 kilometers per hour, or 350 miles per hour at altitude. Cruise speed: approximately Mach 0.9. Service ceiling: round 59,000 feet, 0 meters. Rate of climb: approximately 45,000 feet per minute. The MiG-21 excels in vertical maneuvering and acceleration. However, delta wings produce high wing loading at low speeds, making tight horizontal turns and carrier-style maneuvering difficult. 6-dot range, endurance and fuel. The MiG-21's greatest limitation is its range. Internal fuel capacity, approximately 2,800 to 3,000 kilograms, depending on variant. Combat radius, roughly 370 to 500 kilometers to 130 to 310 miles. Ferry range, up to 1,200 kilometers, 750 miles, with external fuel tanks. The aircraft can carry external drop tanks, but most variants lack aerial refueling capability, severely limiting endurance compared to Western fighters. 7. Fuel consumption and operating cost. The MiG-21's turbojet engine consumes fuel rapidly, especially in afterburner. Public estimates indicate fuel burn rates exceeding 4,000 to 5,000 kilograms per flight hour during high-performance flight. Despite this, the aircraft's operating cost remained relatively low due to its mechanical simplicity, minimal avionics, and ease of maintenance. It was significantly cheaper to operate than aircraft like the F-4 Phantom II. Logistical simplicity made it attractive to developing nations, even with its limited range. 8. Avionics and sensor systems. Avionics on the MiG-21 are basic by modern standards. Early variants used mechanically skinned radars, such as RP-1 Sapphire, RP-20 to Sapphire. These radars provided limited detection range and poor look-down capability. There is no sensor fusion, and situational awareness relies heavily on ground-controlled interception (GCI). Electronic warfare systems were minimal, typically limited to basic radar warning receivers on later variants. Pilot workload remained high, particularly during combat. 9. Weapons and payload. The MiG-21 was designed primarily for air-to-air combat. Weapons include K-13AA to Atoll infrared-guided missiles. Later compatibility with our 60AA AFID missiles. Internal 23mm GSH to 3 cannon on later variants. The aircraft can also carry unguided bombs and rockets, but air-to-ground capability is limited. Maximum external payload, approximately 2,000 kilograms. Weapons are carried externally on underwing pylons. 10. Stealth and survivability. The MiG-21 has no stealth features. Its small size offers some inherent radar signature reduction, but external stalls and intake design negate this advantage. Survivability depends on speed, climb, and pilot tactics rather than signature management. Defensive aids are minimal, with limited countermeasure systems on late-model aircraft. 11. Real-world service and combat use. The MiG-21 has seen extensive combat worldwide. It has been operated by over 60 countries, including the Soviet Union, China, India, Vietnam, Egypt, and numerous African and Eastern European nations. Combat service includes Vietnam War, Arab-Israeli conflicts, Indo-Pakistani wars. Iran-Iraq War. Pilot evaluations consistently note its acceleration, simplicity, and lethality in trained hands, while criticizing limited avionics, short range, and demanding handling. 12. Cost, production and global impact. Total produced over 11,000 aircraft. Flyaway cost estimated well under $2 million. Cold War values varying by variant and license. Production. The MiG-21 became the backbone of many air forces and significantly influenced global air combat capability, particularly among non-aligned and Warsaw Pact nations. 13. Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths: exceptional speed and climb. Simple, rugged design, low acquisition and operating cost. Effective interceptor. Weaknesses: very limited range, basic avionics, high pilot workload, poor low-speed handling. No fighter aircraft is perfect, and the MiG-21 reflects deliberate trade-offs. 14. Final verdict. The MiG-21 Fishbed represents one of the most important fighter designs in aviation history. It proved that speed, simplicity, and scale could rival technological complexity. While obsolete in modern high-threat environments, its legacy endures in doctrine, design philosophy, and global military history, respected by allies and rivals alike. The MiG-21 remains a defining symbol of Cold War air power.